Listening to the IFF TV podcast.
Football Fan TV, this is the Starting 11 show for Republic of Ireland's crucial World Cup qualifier game against Luxembourg in the Aviva Stadium tomorrow, kicking off at 7:45. So, I suppose we're going to start off the goalkeeper, and in goals I'm going to stick with Mark Travers. I don't think he had as bad a game as everyone made out the other night. I think he's made a tougher stuff than to be mentally affected by that. I think he made a half a mistake and was punished for it by Mitrovic. I think that those are the fine margins at this level, but I don't think in reality, if you look at the rest of the game, he really let us down that much. So I'm going to go for Mark Travers in there, and people will say, well, what about Gavin Bazunu? I just think it's a bit soon to throw him in for his first competitive game after Travers made his first competitive game the other night. I just think it would send out the wrong message to Travers, and I think Gavin happy enough with him playing probably against Qatar, and that's fine in my opinion. So I've gone with Travers in goal, and then I'm going to stay with a 3-5-2, and I'm going to put Coleman back in there. I think Coleman's, his performance the other night speaks for itself. I think he has to be in there to lead the team. I think he was absolutely excellent against Serbia. I know he shipped 3 goals, but I don't think any of the goals were his fault, and I thought he led the defence very well. I thought for someone who hadn't really played that position that often, he looked like he'd been playing there his whole career, and he looked superb in that position, and he gives us the perfect cover for Matt Doherty on the right hand side. But I suppose in saying that, just beside him, I think I have to put Darragh O'Shea in there. I think he's crucial for the way we play in terms of coming out from the back and being able to take the ball. So I'm going to go with Darragh O'Shea there. I thought he played very well the other night again. There was a slight, lapses in concentration, but I think he is well good enough to come in and give a real performance in this game. As I said, he's key to the way we need to play from the back, more so probably than Shane Duffy, and I think that's why Shane Duffy misses out, and Kieran Clark's going to go to the left side of my back three, just purely because he's left-footed and he gives us that balance in the back three in which Shane Duffy probably wouldn't. So that would be my back three, and I know Clark didn't have an amazing game against Serbia the other night, but I think he'll show his class against Luxembourg, and I've gone with a back three. I'm going to stick with the same wing backs. I think they speak for themselves. I don't really need to kind of go into too much detail, but we did an opposition preview earlier on, and the guy from Luxembourg, Ben, he had said that their only left back that was in the squad, or left wing back, whatever formation they would play, but their best left back that they had in the squad, it was their only left back, and he must have been injured against Qatar, but he went off and they don't have a replacement for him. So that's the area in which we should be trying to exploit, with Matt Doherty on that right wing back position, getting forward and attacking whoever it is that's playing not in his normal position or natural position. That's where we should be looking to exploit. Then in midfield, I would stick with Josh Cullen and Jason Malumbi again. I think you've seen it the other night. Josh Cullen really showed his class. I actually didn't see it that much when I was watching the watch-along, but when I rewatched the game last night, I actually thought he was absolutely superb. And the way he takes the ball off the defence, and he's always screening, and he's there taking the ball and looking to get us up the pitch as soon as he gets onto the ball. So I think Josh Cullen, for me, has to be in there. And I think then beside him, Malumbi, to provide that balance. I think when you saw when Malumbi went off, we lost that balance, and that's when the game was lost the other night when Hendrick came on for Malumbi. Because naturally, I think he just gives us a bit more cover defensively, and he's able to get back into shape quicker. Whether the game the other night took too much out of him, I'm not sure. But I think that Malumbi should be starting this one alongside Josh Cullen. I think the two of them have a good understanding. And I also think that the two of them are quite good in terms of their understanding where one should be at all times. They always seem to be talking to each other and stuff like that. Plus, when they get the ball, they look to get in positions to receive the ball again, which I really like. I don't think enough of our midfielders do that. So I've gone with those two in midfield. And Alan Brown, I'm going to give him a spot at number 10. He scored the goal the other night, and he created the goal from nothing really. So he started the goal and finished the goal. So in fairness to him, I'm going to put him in there. He must be high on confidence after scoring his first, I suppose, competitive goal for Ireland. So I think putting him in there in the number 10 position and just seeing how he goes. We'll do that for an hour, see how he goes, and then maybe after an hour, maybe bring on Jason Knight. But I think in this scenario, we need to try and play to our strengths and have a bit of the consistency in the team as well. I think you'll get a good balance and consistency with this team. So that's why I've gone with Alan Brown kind of as number 10 then. And then up top, I think Callum Robinson, on merit, his performance was really, really good. Got man the match from me, from my player ratings, and from the other lads as well. So I think Callum Robinson, although he's not been playing for West Brom, you see what he can do for Ireland. He got an assist the other night, and his tail will be up for this one, and he'll be looking to, I suppose, add to his goals, because he hasn't got that many for Ireland. He's got one goal against New Zealand. So I think getting him in there will be good, because he's busy and he gets around the place, and I think that's exactly what we need, putting them under pressure. And he seems to have a decent understanding with Matt Doherty there as well. So if he kind of stays to the right, and then I'd put Shane Long, because he's the most like-minded to Aaron Connolly. It seems as though Aaron Connolly's out. There's so much, isn't he? It seems as the FAI said he would be assessed in the morning. His Instagram story says he's in Brighton, so I don't know what's going on there. But if he is out, anyway, I'm going for Shane Long, up alongside Callum Robinson. I think you saw what Shane Long embodies by the way he set up James Collins for the goal. People say, well, why aren't you having Collins in there? The only reason I'm not having Collins is because if I just spoke there about having that consistency, I think the most player likeable to Aaron Connolly in this scenario would be Shane Long. He has the experience, he has scored goals at this level, and I think he could come up with an important goal this time around. So I think having him there makes sense. And I also think that when you're kind of looking at James Collins, having him as another option to come off the bench makes sense. I just hope Stephen doesn't make that substitution too late, because I felt like he made that substitution too late the other night. But I hope that's the team that goes out and plays tomorrow. Let me know your thoughts. Who would you have in your starting 11? And don't forget to like the video. Please don't forget to subscribe as well. And I'll speak to you all soon.